Okay, so the character Red Sonja was based on a character in a story that Robert E. Howard wrote, Shadow of the Vulture. But it was that story, Robert E. Howard's story, was not part of the Conan mythos or connected to Conan. It was a separate story based in Eastern Europe. At the end of the Byzantine Empire in the 1600s. But the character gave some basics to the character creation, and Roy Thomas and Barry Windsor Smith had been collaborating on Conan the Barbarian. So they came up with the first Red Sonja story, the cameo appearance, then on the cover of issue 24, but the first mention and appearance was Conan number 23 from February of 73. And the popularity of the character led to an origin story in the magazines. There was Kull the Conqueror was another character, and Savage Sword of Conan, it was reprinted. So this character became part of the Conan lore and was later cemented with even a movie that was made, I believe, in the 80s. So very popular character, now considered part of the Conan mythos. And this series, Marvel Feature Presents, was actually her first ongoing appearance. This ran for 7 issues starting in 1975. Then there was another series of 15 issues. That volume started in 1977. So there's the back history of the character and of the comic books, the volumes here. But and she was always in a chainmail bikini, lots of eye candy. This is a very high gloss copy, very nice condition, supple, glossy. The pages are an off-white to cream color. So we have, these were typical, this is from 1975, so these are some ads for models that you could build. And here's the story itself, Eyes of the Gorgon. So the great thing about the Conan, and in this case, this Red Sonja story, is you can pick this up and read it completely on its own. You don't have to read anything before it. It's a complete story from start to finish, but like many of these stories, it opens with her riding into a particular town, and she goes to an inn, and in the process of asking for a drink, discovers that there's a stone, that the barkeep is a stone statue. Then she's attacked, and the city folk mistake her as a witch, who are a gorgon, a demon gorgoness. So they take her, they capture her, she fights them, but they manage to capture her. This is the leader of the town, and the mob. Kung Fu was very popular in the 70s. And so here they're going to hang her as a demon witch that's turning the townsfolk into stone. So typical fantasy sorcery kind of story. This is Frank Thorne as the artist. He did the cover here too. Compelling artwork, great storytelling. Some more ads. And as it turns out, she's rescued by this disfigured kind of, villagers think you Gorgon, and they call me idiot. So this character is introduced. He rescues her. He's got a pet rat. And this is some of her like mythology, Terim and Erlik, I guess her gods from Hyrcania, the part of Hyperborea, that the backstory where she came from. And she fights, as it turns out, she thinks she's being turned to stone. You're like, oh my gosh, it's actually really believable. Kind of interesting here. You can see the contemporary ads, Tomb of Dracula number 44, where Dracula meets Doctor Strange, and here's Savage Sword of Conan, latest black and white adventure, Roy Thomas, John Buscema, and Young Montano. Okay, so, and this is interesting that you can take art lessons with free 3-hour-long art lessons by the Stan Lee, and at this time they always did this like Big John Buscema, Rascally Roy Thomas. So that was what a convention was like. That was a big deal, free writing lessons from Rascally Roy Thomas. That would have been cool. It was at the Hotel Commodore. Okay, so here's I guess the climax of the story. She's been turned to stone. So you're like, oh no. More ads. But of course, for a moment, you're suspended disbelief. You think it's over with, no more Red Sonja. But as it turns out, she's rescued again, and it turns out that it was some kind of drug that made her feel like her limbs were leaden weight, and knocked her out. And they replaced her with a stone statue. So the reveal is that the leader of the town mob that was introduced earlier is actually Uncas's sister, and so I actually don't remember what the reasons why they were doing this in the first place, but they've been going around capturing townsfolk and creating stone statues of them, kind of creating some kind of fear in the town. I don't know, out of revenge, or I think because they had mistreated her brother Uncas. And she escapes. There's a fight scene, and the story ends. Little Twinkie advertisement with Spider-Man. Again, you can read these are really interesting kind of time capsules, these letters to the editor and his soapbox. So here is the denouement, and unfortunately Uncas dies in the final resolution of the battle as she escapes. And then they mention the next story. So as you can see, this is a complete story. You could pick it up, read it, enjoy it. Collectible comic book. In mint, it currently books at $12, so not super expensive. An affordable series that you could collect the whole volume with only 7 issues. And if you're a Red Sonja fan, a must-have. Okay, well, this has been Jeff with Goodreads. I hope you enjoy this, a little background on the character Red Sonja and a particular issue in which she appeared. Thank you for liking and subscribing. If you enjoy this content, appreciate it. It also helps to register to win. No purchase required, but you do need to register to win. And we'll see you next time on Goodreads YouTube channel Magnitude 10.